Hello, hello, everybody. It is that time. All right, let me just make my way over to my desk. Okay, gonna make sure. All right, so sorry. So welcome to another episode of Coloring with Jeff. Yay! So today, what I'm going to be showing you guys coloring up is one of my favorite characters. He's too cute. He's got a belly like me. He's always eating. And this is little Baby Fang. Baby Fang, if you don't know, is a little wolf cub. And he gets his name because there's a little fang that just sits on the side of his mouth that never stays in his mouth. It just always seems to poke right out of there. So, our next comic actually is going to be focused around a little bit more around Baby Fang, kind of. But he's going to have more of a part in there, let's put it that way. And something happens to him that, well, you guys are going to have to see in the next book, next comic. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get this flipped around here, and we're going to go ahead and start. So just give me a minute here to just flip this around. If it'll let me. There we go. All right. And boom. All right. Let me get this on there. Ugh. That lady in Bixby, I tell you. I get my finger out of the way. You know, I would have thought at least by now I would have this all basically figured out. But again, just kind of being on your own here. It's sometimes a little difficult. All right. So I'm going to try to keep him up here a little bit as much as I can so you guys can see what's going on. So here we are, Baby Fang. This is a brand new piece, guys. I absolutely love this piece. All right. So Baby Fang, you see that he's actually holding a little bit of what is he holding? Okay, it could be a candy bag, popcorn, whatever you really want it to be. But little Baby Fang here. This is why is it so far away? But little Baby Fang is running, and of course he's munching on all the junk food because that's how he gets his little belly. But he's always eating, always eating. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. You know, and because this is live, you know, you guys can ask me questions at any time. That is not a problem. Put that, no. All right. So first things first, we're gonna get I'm actually going to do the little, like the lighter parts of Baby Fang first. For me, sometimes it seems to work a little bit better if I do it that way. So, you know, I used to know exactly where all of these colors were. Here it is. All right, so we're going to start here. Plus, at least with me doing it this way, you guys can hopefully see it a little bit better too. Let me just hopefully that's not too blurry for you guys and you can see it all okay. So here we go. All right. I'm going to be making my own color with this, so and we're going to do it around here. We're going to go around this way. Of course, we're going to get his muzzle here. So I think from now on, I'm just gonna go live on Facebook and YouTube, at least for this. For Twitch, I think I have something else I want to do with that. I think. So because last week, if you guys remember, I was on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. I was all over the place. But I'm trying to get some subscribers to YouTube, so that's why I'm going to stay on YouTube for sure, and I'll stay on Facebook because I seem to get the word out a little bit more that I have this going on. Come on. All right, so what I do is you'll see what I'm doing here. I'm kind of doing like an imaginary drawing of his tummy. That just kind of helps me see exactly where his belly is going to lay, where I'm going to put the marker. And we got this here. That's a lighter color. And last but not least, this back here. So basically his undersides, except for his muzzle there. All right. That's just one color. And like I said, I like to make my own colors. You may not see it, but believe it or not, this is a different color. Like, well, Jeff, why didn't you just leave it? It's not that different. Well, actually, it is. This is a different color. This kind of brightens it up a little bit, which is kind of what I want. Almost makes it more like a brighter brown. Like it's a lighter one, but I mean, maybe like a tan, if you will. I don't know about maybe. This color seems to be a lot better for him or with him. And you'll see why in just a little bit when I start doing his main coat. So weird, this is sticking to my desk. So this season, as you guys know, I've been going live at 3 o'clock. That's mainly because I need the natural light. However, depending on how things go, I may start going a little bit later, only because I need somebody here to help me out and kind of like flip back and forth with cameras and all that stuff. But I'll let you guys know that in the future. Oh, I have some comments. Hold on one second, guys. Hey, what's up, Martin? Martin, yes, I can see your questions. Unfortunately, I can't see them because my desk is too far away from my computer. So when I'm looking over, when I see questions, I'll get up and I'll go over there and I'll check them out. But what marker was that? I was using two different kinds. Nope, I lied. I was using Blick Studio marker. This is the exact one I was just using. And I also use Prismacolor, as I think you also said there too. You asked. But I do use both. Yes. All right. We're gonna get his ear here, inside of his ear anyway. So for my events this year, I'm waiting for one group to get back to me, just saying yay or nay if I'm going to be in their event. As of right now, all the conventions have been posted on jeffbalkystudios.com for anybody who wants to know where I'm going to be. Maybe I'll be in your area. That'd be nice. I haven't seen anybody for such a long time. But this other event, it's actually the Milwaukee Makers Market, and something that we started last year, that we did last year, and we had such a great time. So we're just kind of waiting to hear back from them, but we have to wait till after March 6th. So sometime in the beginning of March, hopefully we should know. But I'm still going to be at a convention here and there throughout the year, so keep an eye out on jeffbalkystudios.com. All right, so we're going to get... All right, so now I'm going to start on his dark color here, and you're going to see, again, I'm mixing two colors. So I'm going to go with a dark brown. And you guys know me, you know, I love my white highlights there. But on him, we're going to be changing that up a smidge. Probably should be starting in another area. It doesn't matter where you start. It's just kind of like, it's a me thing. All right. Now, considering that, yes, Baby Fang is a cub or a little wolf, he does have, of course, brown, but I don't want to just keep him brown. So like I said, I'm going to be adding a little bit of another color to him, just a little bit after I get this first color, which is dark brown, done. As you can tell, I move this around. I move the paper around a lot. An absolute, I mean, a lot. I know I have some comments over there, so I'll be right there to answer questions and look at some of the comments in just a second. Let me go over there real quick. Martin, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I don't know. Martin, it's you. You're probably in Facebook jail again. Hey, Paul, how you doing? How you doing, Paul? And again, for those of you who are just coming on, if I don't get back to you right away, your comments, I'm kind of far away. I'm probably about 8 feet from my computer where I can see the comments, and unfortunately, I don't know if I can see any comments here on my phone. I know that sounds kind of odd. That's something that I've been looking into since last week, and I really haven't found if I can see comments on my phone, because my phone is only a guest. So that's where the problem lies, kind of. All right. Actually, we're going to do it this way. Move it under his arm. There we go. And we're gonna go this way. I'm just kind of hoping you guys can see what I'm doing as I'm actually doing it. I don't want my hand to get in the way. Let's cover that up. There we go. Move it over there. There we go. Move it over there a little bit. That's better. Okay. All right. So the little baby Fang, as you see, he's got that little Fang sitting right there, which is why we call him Baby Fang. And this little guy, he is just a lot of fun to be around. Sometimes he gets himself in a little bit of trouble at times. You know, we all do, don't we? And that's mainly just because he's a wolf. So a lot of people think he's got like a wolf uh, attitude, I guess. And sometimes they don't take him seriously. But it actually turns out. Sorry, guys. I know I'm kind of like in between talking, and I stop, just trying to focus, not going too much outside the lines. But once they start to get to know Baby Fang, and once he kind of gets himself out there a little bit more, everyone starts kind of seeing like, oh, he's not such a bad guy. Well, no, of course not. Of course he's not. It's Baby Fang. Now coming up, that's only one color so far. So coming up at the conventions, I've got a new setup that I'm working towards. I can't say definitively if I'm going to have it 100% done by the first show, which is actually March 6th. But I am going to have the majority. I'm going to have some friends there with me. All right, so here we are. Now I'm going in with a gray color. And I'm just kind of darkening it up a little bit more so it's not as brown, so kind of muting it down and darkening him up a little bit. No, but at the shows, definitely at the shows, I am going to have some friends there with me, which I'm not going to go into a ton of detail yet until I take the picture, because I want to make sure I have them all before I say anything, one of those things. But I'm going to have some friends there with me. We are going to have a different setup. That has been my goal for the longest time, is to have a different setup when I do conventions and shows and events. Because, I just want to have something that's a little more interactive. You can walk into, you can come and check everything out. Not just have a barricade table or 2 or 5. I want something that you guys can walk in and that you can kind of enjoy. But more on all that a little bit later once I get a little bit more of an idea, making sure that I'm going to have everything there at the shows, or at the show, the first show. The first show is actually the Madison Mighty Con Comic Con. So up in Madison. I think it's like $8 for park, or $8 to get in. Kids 12 and under get in for free. Everybody gets to pick out a comic book for free, because they have lined up a couple of boxes there. And parking, I think, is like only $5. So something I was kind of hinting at or saying last week about the markers. So the one that I'm using now, this is the Blick Studio. Now these particular markers, and this actually has a lot to do with like what's going on here because there's a major difference. I don't know if you can really tell from like this brown, dark brown down here, and then this brown that's up here that I just went over with the cool gray. These markers, the Blick Studio markers, these guys here are actually watercolor, water-based. So what does that mean? So when you put the marker down on paper, it's going to spread a little bit. And you know what? That's actually kind of a cool, I didn't realize that until much later on when I started using them more and more. But that's actually kind of a really cool effect. Depending on what you're coloring. But for me, I think it works out awesome. Now, there are times I use Prismacolor, which are more oil-based. So what that means is that when you put the marker down, it's not going to spread. It's not going to spread as much. Also depends on the paper you use too. So like this here, there we go. So like with using the Prismacolor first, putting that oil base down, it's almost like you're putting cement down, but let's look at it that way. And then, no, it's kind of a bad example. But anyways, it's like you're putting down an oil base and then you put down a water base on top of that. It's kind of going to make the bottom marker, it's going to make that spread a little bit as well too. And it's going to give you kind of almost like a watercolor effect. I don't know if you can really see it up here. I just did this, so it's still drying. I don't know if you can really see it up here, but that kind of has that water effect, the watercolor effect. But I'm only hoping that made a lot of sense to you guys. I really do, because I think I kind of screwed that up. All right, let's get, I don't think this is dark enough. Let's see. Yeah, it is. And instead of doing like a pink, I want to do like a darker gray for his nose. Usually I do black, but I wanted to, I don't want just black. All right, so we get, of course, we'll get pink for his tongue. There we go. And then for the bag, let's see. For the bag, let's do, well, why don't we just do red and white? So I'm going to take two different color reds to make the red that I'm looking for. So I'm going to take regular red. So this is just your basic everyday red. And it's kind of running out a little bit. That's okay with what I'm going to do. See, now to me, just because of what I have vision in my head, this is not the exact red. Now, I've looked for a long time for the exact red that I've wanted. And I've been coloring with markers for a long time, years. Professionally, probably about 13 years. And I can never find the exact marker that I'm looking for, color. So that's when I found this little combination. Now I take a brighter red, and now I just go over what I just went over. Now you got more of a brighter red. That's more that now you can totally tell the difference between the two reds. You can see what I just did is a lot brighter than the other two. That's the color I'm looking for. And that's just really cool when it comes to playing around with markers, because once you do it for such a long time, you'll start going, oh, you know what? I want this color instead. And then you kind of just start experimenting, playing, and you're like, oh, I found it. I got the color I wanted. And it's kind of like a warm fuzzy. Okay. So we're just going to make this popcorn. How's that sound? We're just going to make this popcorn. And popcorn is not that bright. All right, so we're going to do this, this, this. We're going to do this. Okay. All right. Whoops. There we go. All right, so one more thing that I'm going to do is, so all these little white lines that I left there, normally I would keep them there, but I'm actually going to put a color in there. Oops, not that color. Because I just want to give him a little bit more of a not so fake, I guess, if you will, kind of a look. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, you can leave some of the white there like I did in some of these parts. So whatever your little mind sees. Boop, boop. Okay. All right, so now the other part that I'm going to be looking at, hold on one second. Look at my comments over here. Oh, you know what I just realized? One more color I have to add. I got to add to, I thought that was too bright. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to calm this down. We're going to cool it down a little bit. Okay, there we go. That's better. As I was coloring, I'm like, why does this look so different? That's why, because I forgot to do so. Actually, his muzzle and his like underbelly and under his tail and stuff, there's actually three colors that I add together to make the color I'm looking for. Okay, that's better. Oh yeah, there's Baby Fang. All right. Now I feel better. Yes, okay. All right. So now with in the background, I'm going to do some of the lines, or I guess you can call it an explosion behind him. Um, well, Why don't we just do an aqua or a blue color? Why don't we just do that? Because that actually ties all these colors together. Right. Oh, yeah. I just tried to move this out of the way so I don't have the shadow in my way, but shadow's already there. It's like he's coming right out of the page at you. Hey guys, wait for me. Okay. Got my own little baby Fang in the background. I don't know if you heard him shaking. So I'm just going to throw this out there. Just like all the other pieces that I've worked on, these are going to be for sale on bulkystudiosart.com. So this exact one is for sale, but it's going to be all matted up. And it's going to be put in a dust jacket, or basically it's also called bagged and boarded. Bagged and boarded. It's going to be signed, and of course, it'll head off to your place if you do choose that you would like one or you'd like it. You can either just comment here, or you can wait till I put it up and you can just purchase it right there online. Any way you look at it, it's going to come signed, bagged and boarded, matted. It already comes in that black and white mat that you guys see. I post a lot of pictures in. All the hand colorings come matted. And I love doing these. I really do. You know, I love when people get excited about them. Okay. So, ladies and gents, we are all finished. Baby Fang is done. So see, it didn't take me a long time. So this is a little Baby Fang here. So yay! But this is a very fun piece to do. I love this piece a lot. You know, putting the shadow behind him, having the lines behind him, really just make him pop, make it seem like he's popping right off the page and coming at you. Actually, coming after your candy or popcorn. So, but yes, this little guy right now, he is available. So if you want him, he is for sale. He's only $40. That's matted, signed, bagged and boarded, all that stuff. And of course, you get the original. And if you ever want to know if it's an original, all you have to do is flip it over and see if the marker bled through. I tell people to do that all the time. Not just with my stuff in general, because there are some people who have unfortunately kind of got away with, oh, this is an original piece. They flip it over and it's a print. So yeah, and then the fans were unfortunately kind of a little upset. That's why I always tell people flip over my pieces. You can see if it's an original piece. This is an original piece. You guys just watched me color this up live right here. So yeah, but this little baby thing, yeah. So let me try to grab this without. There we go. A cute little guy. You kind of see a little bit of that watercolor effect. Yeah, right. So we're going to switch this back around here. All right, there we go. So again, guys, I just want to say thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. This is the third episode in this season of Living with Jeff, and I'm very excited about these because this is the third piece actually that's all brand spanking new. There's a lot more to come. So next week, also join me Tuesday at 3 o'clock right here on either Facebook or YouTube or the Hanging with the Web Show TV network. And come and check out the new piece that I'll be doing next week. I'm not going to go too much into detail yet, mainly because I don't know exactly what I'll be coloring. I got a few to choose from. But again, guys, I just want to say thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys coming on board, commenting, sharing, caring, all that stuff. So thank you guys very much. Please feel free to keep on sharing this video at any time. That would be fantastic. So, and if you haven't already, go and subscribe to Jeff Bulky Studios on YouTube. Because as soon as we hit a certain number, I can start going live. Actually, I guess I'm going live right now. So never mind. Never mind. But actually, if I start getting more subscriptions, I can start doing a lot more stuff. YouTube kind of opens up different levels, if you will, every single time that you had a certain subscription number. So my number is 1,000, so I got a little bit to go. I think I'm only sitting at 153, but I got a little bit to go. But I'll get there. I'll definitely get there, but with your help. So again, guys, thank you so much. Keep an eye out at bulkystudiosart.com. I am going to have this exact piece for sale later on tonight, starting later on tonight. So if you want it, a little one of a kind, you're only going to get one. So again, thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you next week at 3 p.m. Central, right here on YouTube or on the Facebook page, wherever you're watching me right now. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to get back over here so I can stop this. All right. Thanks, Paul.